Imagine this. You've just ordered the latest smartphone, and instead of waiting weeks for it to cross oceans, it arrives in days, thanks to a revolutionary trade route. This isn't science fiction. It's the promise of the Middle Corridor, a critical link connecting China to Europe through Central Asia and Turkey. But this isn't just about faster delivery. It's about how this new route is shaking up global power dynamics, challenging long-standing trade routes, and even affecting the prices you pay for everyday items like electronics and cars. Stick with us as we unpack the 7 pivotal changes redefining the global economy. Number 7. The game-changing Middle Corridor. The Middle Corridor, formerly known as the Trans-Caspian International Transport Route, is revolutionizing trade between China and Europe. This overland route spans Kazakhstan, the Caspian Sea, Azerbaijan, Georgia, and Turkey, offering an alternative to traditional maritime paths like the Suez Canal. By cutting transit times from weeks to mere days, the Middle Corridor is becoming indispensable for industries such as electronics and automotive, where speed and reliability are critical. Integral to China's Belt and Road Initiative, this route benefits from massive infrastructure investments, including railways, ports, and logistics hubs. According to the Asian Infrastructure Investment Bank, nearly $50 billion has been allocated to projects along this route, underscoring its importance. The European Union is embracing the Middle Corridor to diversify supply chains and mitigate risks linked to congested maritime routes. The International Federation of Freight Forwarders Association's 2023 report estimates that freight volumes along the corridor will double by 2025, reducing dependency on regions prone to piracy or instability. This underscores the route's vital role in reshaping global trade dynamics. For consumers, this means faster delivery of goods, reduced shipping costs, and potentially lower prices for high-demand items like smartphones and laptops. Number 6. Europe's strategic realignment. European nations are recalibrating their trade strategies to align with the Middle Corridor. Countries like Hungary, Poland, and Romania are heavily investing in rail networks and logistics hubs to strengthen connectivity with Asia. This shift reflects Europe's deliberate effort to reduce reliance on maritime routes dominated by global shipping giants. Italy and Greece have taken the lead in integrating their infrastructure with the Belt and Road Initiative. Italy's port of Trieste, for example, has seen significant upgrades under Chinese partnerships, enhancing its capacity to handle Asia-Europe trade flows. Similarly, Greece's port of Piraeus, a major Belt and Road Initiative, or project, has transformed into one of the busiest shipping hubs in the Mediterranean. By tapping into Asia's burgeoning markets, Europe aims to mitigate supply chain vulnerabilities amid global uncertainty. The Financial Times reported in 2024 that European manufacturers are increasingly reliant on the Middle Corridor for sourcing critical components, emphasizing the route's growing strategic value. For everyday consumers, this means potentially lower costs for goods and fewer delays in delivery, creating a ripple effect in markets across Europe. Number 5. The declining influence of U.S. trade dominance. For decades, the United States wielded unparalleled control over global trade, overseeing pivotal maritime routes like the Suez and Panama Canals. However, new overland routes like the Middle Corridor are eroding this dominance, reshaping global supply chains. While the U.S. has introduced initiatives such as the Blue Dot Network to counter China's Belt and Road Initiative, it has struggled to match the scale of Beijing's investments. The Blue Dot Network, launched in 2019, aims to certify high-quality infrastructure projects globally. However, critics argue that its scope and funding are dwarfed by China's estimated $1 trillion Belt and Road Initiative. NATO allies in Europe are prioritizing the Middle Corridor for its economic benefits, often placing pragmatism above political considerations. A 2022 report by the Council on Foreign Relations highlights that European countries view the Middle Corridor as a way to reduce exposure to geopolitical tensions and supply chain disruptions. For the U.S., This shift poses significant challenges to its geopolitical strategy and economic influence. On a consumer level, these changes could mean fewer American-made goods in European markets, potentially increasing the cost of U.S. exports. As the Middle Corridor gains traction, American industries may need to pivot to remain competitive in a rapidly evolving trade landscape. Number 4. The Middle East's role as a trade nexus. The Middle East is positioning itself as a key hub within the Middle Corridor, reshaping global trade routes. Turkey's strategic location between Europe and Asia, coupled with significant investments in railways and ports, has made it an indispensable transit hub. In 2023, Turkey inaugurated the Ankara-Istanbul high-speed rail, a $20 billion project that integrates seamlessly with the Middle Corridor. Iraq is stepping up as well, with a $17 billion infrastructure initiative to connect its ports to Europe via rail and road networks. This project aims to offer a faster and more cost-effective alternative to the Suez Canal. Meanwhile, Iran continues to contribute despite geopolitical challenges, enhancing connectivity through its rail networks. These developments are transforming the Middle East's economic landscape, integrating the region more deeply into global trade systems. By challenging the dominance of traditional maritime routes, the Middle East is emerging as a pivotal player in the future of global commerce. For consumers, this could translate to lower costs for goods sourced from the region, thanks to reduced transportation expenses. Number 3. China's expanding influence through the BRI. Since its launch in 2013, China's Belt and Road Initiative has funded over 3,000 infrastructure projects across more than 60 countries. This vast network of trade routes links Asia, Europe, and Africa, with the Middle Corridor serving as a prime example of its success. European nations like Italy and Greece have embraced BRI projects, upgrading their infrastructure and streamlining trade processes. For China, these partnerships reinforce its position as a global economic powerhouse while reducing reliance on U.S.-controlled maritime routes. Critics argue that the BRI fosters economic dependency through debt, but proponents highlight its role in driving growth and fostering international cooperation. The Economist notes that while some nations face debt challenges, others have successfully leveraged BRI projects to boost their GDP growth by up to 2% annually. Regardless of perspective, the initiative's impact on global trade is undeniable, cementing its place as a driving force behind the Middle Corridor's rise. Number 2. Economic and political ripple effects. The partnership between Europe and China reverberates far beyond trade logistics. Economically, the Middle Corridor reduces costs, boosts efficiency, and fortifies supply chain resilience, crucial in a world still recovering from the pandemic and grappling with geopolitical conflicts. Politically, the collaboration challenges U.S. global influence. Chinese-funded infrastructure projects across Europe are adding complexity to transatlantic relations. Many European nations are prioritizing economic gains over alignment with U.S. geopolitical strategies, signaling a shift in global alliances. Central Asian countries are also benefiting. Kazakhstan and Azerbaijan, for instance, are leveraging their strategic locations to attract investments and bolster trade. In 2024, Kazakhstan reported a 15% increase in trade volume due to its integration into the Middle Corridor. For smaller nations, the multipolar trade environment opens opportunities to negotiate favorable trade deals and diversify economic partnerships. However, it also carries risks of over-reliance on major powers like China or Europe, potentially limiting their policy autonomy. Number 1. The future of global trade. The Middle Corridor is more than just a trade route. It symbolizes a paradigm shift in global commerce. By reducing reliance on traditional maritime routes, Europe and China are building a diversified trade network that challenges U.S. hegemony. This collaboration is reshaping alliances, re-engineering supply chains, and redefining the movement of goods. For the U.S., remaining competitive will require bold strategies, investing in domestic infrastructure, forging innovative international partnerships and addressing economic vulnerabilities. For consumers worldwide, these changes could bring both opportunities and challenges. Faster trade routes may lower costs for electronics, apparel, and automotive products. But shifting supply chains could also disrupt markets in the short term, leading to localized price fluctuations. As Europe and China deepen their cooperation, the stakes in global trade have never been higher. The Middle Corridor represents a new era of commerce where power and influence are constantly evolving. The Global Trade Revolution. The rise of the Middle Corridor marks a fundamental shift in global trade, moving toward a more diversified and resilient network. Europe and China's strategic partnership underscores the transformative power of collaboration, reshaping the future of commerce. For the United States, this moment demands innovation and adaptability to reclaim its standing in the evolving global order. The question is, will the U.S. rise to the challenge, or will the Middle Corridor cement its place as a cornerstone of the new global economy? What's your take? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. We're glad you're enjoying this video. Please like and subscribe. Check out another video that is now on your screen.